So that those are that's part and partial to what is going on. It's not just, I have a chance, because there's so many more unknowns. And so, one of the things I was gonna say is that, we hear this saying all the time, it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to be a community. It takes everybody involved in it, so that, and encouraging and being supportive, rather than saying, oh, look at them, they're not, those kinds of things. So, you know how it is with children. The more you encourage them, even if they're rambunctious, even if they're getting into things, the more you try to encourage them to do good stuff.
With that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with who they're around as well.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
I'm going to address that too. I worked the county jail for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
What fun I
Okay,
had. But, the familiarity of your life brings so much impact onto one's life. I saw 4 generations of one family.
Oh,
Had I
yeah.
stayed, I probably would have seen the 5th generation if I didn't retire. So
Social services. You
it's,
see that.
it's
Yeah.
just so hard to
They're
break that
from
cycle.
one family to the next.
Yeah.
And exactly,
Yeah.
it's just so hard to break that cycle. And as law enforcement, we have this much time out of this big of a life, as you do too, Janice, and it has to be squared away up here. And our biggest gripe back in the day was New York, cutting, and it was the mental health services.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
how
that's-
desperate
That was-
we as a community and as a state need these services to change that mindset.
Yeah.
Because you're so right, that we get them cleaned up in the jail,
Right.
they're all happy, they found God, they found clean living, they have forgiven the sins of the parents, and they're out and they're hooking, and they're drugging, and they're drinking,
And when they're in jail, they have a roof over their head, they have 3 meals a day, they have heat, so
Yeah.
you get the ones that,
Yeah.
And a doctor.
I
Yeah.
had
Oh, yeah.
a younger kid I arrested a couple months ago. He was higher than a kite at that day. When he got sentenced, he was good. He was in jail for 29 days at the time. Talked to the judge and I requested that the other officer who was involved and myself come up to the court. Thanked us for arresting him. He's been clean since he was in jail.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was great. 3 days after he gets out, I run into him on the street. Still going great, still clean, doing what he needs to do. 4th day, meets up with a couple of the people that he was with before, overdoses. So you take them out of the environment,
Yes.
and if they want to change, they can. You take them out of the environment and they want to change, then they go back into that environment.
Yes.
It's a very, very hard thing to break people of their surroundings.
Right.
If you put that temptation back in front of them,
Right.
it's very hard for them to say, no, this is what I've done for so long, I'm going to keep doing what I've
Even
done.
though they know what's coming, because he's been there.
And it's funny with the mindset that we would get in the jail. They come in and do 8 months, they do a county year, and nobody would bring money, put it in their commissary, nobody would come see them, and they go out and go right back into it. It's like these people,
But that's all they know. And that's like the same thing with the generations. So you see things on television, it's so funny. You see a parent having a child to go to a telephone booth in a museum where they can find a telephone booth.
Right.
And then they ask them, what is this? And they said, what is this? I don't know what this is. You don't, so because for those generations, the idea that something else can be a livelihood or something, there is a way to do it. Going to school is good because, back here, we were farmers and we didn't go to school. There was no need to go to school. Your parents taught you what to do.
Right.
You went out and milked the cows. You went out and you did this, that. So school was a hindrance that the state put on you, where it was interfering with your livelihood because you needed to be on the farm to make the farm work, okay? So then, that's what that mindset was. Okay, and then here we go, the same thing, I don't like farming, but this is what I gotta do, this is life. And then, so then we go to this one, and still, school has not cracked in there as to how important that is and how much of a weight out that is, so that when people don't know, you know, and even when, you know, you're going to school and, you know, all kinds of things, again, that peer pressure. There's research that shows that, you know, somebody, the group of us, we're in here and somebody says something rude or awful. There's research on bullying and what is it? Well, I'll just say peer pressure. And so if there's something that's obviously wrong, they say that she has a green cup of mashed potatoes. And all of you agree with that, and I know, I look like that's a white cup with coffee in it. But then because all of you have agreed that that's a green cup of mashed potatoes, then I don't go against that.
Oh.
So in that,
Go there.
right, and so that's what the research is showing, so that if they're going back into that environment where this is the way out, nothing's ever gonna change, man, you might as well go ahead and do this because, you know, or are you too good for us now, or this, that, or the other kind of thing. All of those pressures, and again, until the community surrounds that person who has gotten out, until we have not only forgiven them, but support them towards a new way of life, then, you know, rather than looking on them and saying, oh, you're lazy and good for nothing, you know, you'll never change, you know, which may be the case, but we don't, you know.
Would the bottom line be that they're afraid to stand up for themselves? I mean,
No,
some
I mean,
of them
It's
just,
confidence.
You don't
That-
have
it-
to-
yeah.
but they're
It's-
friends.
Wait a minute.
Friends are-
It's-
no, I'm not doing that thing.
It's what they,
It's a
what
variety
they
of
consider
personalities.
their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which,
If authority tells you to do something, think of like a child's mindset. If a teacher tells a child to do something, or authority member tells that child to do something, but all his friends want him to do something different, he's gonna get in trouble.
right,
It's just the
He's
adult,
not gonna
it's gonna
listen
be
to
the
the
adult version of
authority
it. If resources tell this person, this is how you get off whatever, police arrest this person, police interfere, whatever, person's
and
out
you're
of
the
the
bad
environment.
guys.
That person's out of
Because
the environment.
you interfered with their activity.
So that person's now out of their environment in a new world where they don't have what they consider friends, where their only resources are law enforcement, different public services. Those people do care about them, but to that person, their authority members, to that person, they are not their friends. They're gonna drift back to their friends. And if your friends are doing something, more likely than not, you're gonna drift back into doing what your friends are doing. And that's,
And they can't make new, a lot of them can't make new friends. I mean, the